Chosen One. Your next mission requires all your power. Stop right now. Don't look away, because what's happening to you at this exact moment isn't random chance. It's a direct summons. I've been watching your silence, and I've seen the nights when the ceiling seemed to crush your dreams. I know the weight you carry, and the weariness that no amount of sleep seems able to cure. This heaviness you feel right now, throbbing right behind your eyes, it's not stress, and it's not the ordinary burden of daily life. This pressure is your ancestral vision trying to break through the shell of a reality that's become too small for your soul. It's your genuine power forcing the floodgates, trying to tear through the veil of an ordinary life that never belonged to you. I called you here because the time of your hidden preparation has come to an end. Your next mission will no longer accept this watered-down version you tried to present to the world so you wouldn't bother anyone. You were shaped for impact, not for fitting in. Feel the vibration rising up your spine right now. It's the frequency of my call cutting through the layers of matrix noise trying to distract you. I am moving the waters of your life, and what seemed like stagnation was just the pullback before the great leap. In this moment, the transmission of your new directive has begun, and the system that tried to keep you asleep has already realized you're waking up. You can no longer ignore what your spirit already knows. The time of waiting is over, and the truth is coming to light. To seal this awakening and announce to the entire universal structure that the Chosen One has finally awakened, I demand your first physical confirmation. Type 111 right now in the comments to tune your frequency to mine and open the portal of your authority. It's not just a number. It's a ritual code of recognition. By typing it, you signal to the unseen that you've stopped resisting and accepted the magnitude of what I designed for you. I guarantee you, nothing you've suffered will be wasted in this ascension process. Stay with me, because every word of this encounter was designed to rebuild your internal power structure. What I'm about to reveal to you will permanently change how you see your own name and your role on this earth. The world tried to convince you that you were just another face in the crowd, but I wove you with threads of eternity. The pressure you feel is the diamond being forged. The fire didn't come to consume you, but to burn the chains that kept you from flying. Prepare yourself, because what's about to be delivered requires absolute focus. Your next mission requires all your power, and I will not allow you to retreat even one single inch. The command has been given, the frequency has been adjusted, and your destiny is being sealed right now. I want you to understand the depth of what it means to be known by me. There's an ancient term, yada, that describes not just intellectual knowing, but an intimate, visceral knowledge that penetrates to the marrow of your bones. I know your structure. I know the rhythm of your doubts and the texture of your silence. Before a word even reaches your tongue, I've already traced its entirety. It's through this deep knowledge that I can tell you, with the authority of the one who wove you, that you are not who they told you you were. You spent years trying to fit into frames that were made for souls much smaller than yours. You tried to speak the world's language, tried to laugh at empty jokes, and tried to content yourself with the crumbs of recognition the system offered you. I watched you in each of those failed attempts and saw the pain you felt trying to shrink yourself to fit into the spaces they gave you. You know that strange sensation that overtakes you when you're surrounded by familiar people, maybe at a dinner table or in a work meeting, and suddenly everything feels off. You look around and feel that, although your body is there, your mind belongs somewhere else. You feel like an undercover agent, an observer of a reality that no longer belongs to you. While everyone around you discusses superficialities and gets lost in concerns that seem trivial to you, a silent scream echoes inside your chest. This feeling of alienation isn't a manufacturing defect, and it's not a sign that you're breaking down. On the contrary, it's the clearest sign that your spiritual DNA has finally begun to remember your true origin. You feel out of place because you're a giant trying to live in a dollhouse. The ceiling is too low for your stature. The walls are too fragile for the strength of your shoulder, and the furniture is too small for the weight of your glory. The world tried to convince you that you should bow down, that you should bend your knees and hide your light so as not to blind the vision of the mediocre. But I tell you, the dollhouse wasn't made for you, and that's why it's shaking. Every time you try to stand up, the structures around you creak because they weren't designed to withstand your expansion. I kept you in this state of isolation, often feeling alone even in the middle of a crowd, for a strategic reason. It was a protective measure. If you had felt comfortable in the dollhouse, you would have become part of the scenery. You would have accepted the cheap decorations and fake windows as your only reality. I needed your discomfort to grow until it became unbearable. I needed the loneliness to force you to look inward, to the place where I dwell and where your true identity is preserved. Your DNA hasn't forgotten the power you carried before you were launched into this time. There's a memory of rain running through your veins that the Matrix tried to erase with fear and anxiety. They called you strange, difficult or arrogant simply because you no longer accept the invisible chains they call normalcy. But to me, you are the chosen one who is awakening to the true size of your existence. Your nature demands vast spaces, demands impossible missions, and demands an authority that doesn't ask permission to be exercised. You're not going crazy, and you're not losing touch with reality. You're finally gaining contact with the only reality that matters. The world is a theater of shadows, but what I'm activating in you now is the substance that projects the light. You are the carrier of a frequency this environment can't process. Don't try anymore to explain yourself to those who can only see the height of the dollhouse ceiling. They'll never understand why you can no longer sit in silence while your soul cries out for expansion. The isolation you lived through was my sacred laboratory. There, in the desert of your identity, I removed the layers of plastic the world glued onto you. Now, you're ready to understand that your mission requires you to assume your sovereign posture. The giant doesn't apologize for taking up space. He simply exists, and his existence alters the environment. Feel your spirit stretching. Feel the truth of your lineage vibrating in every cell of your body. The dollhouse will no longer hold you. The walls are falling so you can see the horizon I prepared for your steps. You were born to dominate, not to be an extra in a set of lies. From now on, every step you take will carry the weight of eternity because you've finally understood who you are in my eyes. I am removing the veil and revealing the warrior who was hidden behind the weariness. The recognition has begun. The awakening is irreversible. The giant has awakened, and nothing in this system will be able to make you small again. The war being waged at this exact moment isn't made of flesh, blood, or visible weapons. It occurs in the invisible field of vibrations surrounding your mind. There's a biological hijacking in progress, a constant interference trying to prevent your consciousness from reaching the throne of authority that was destined for you. It all began when you were still a child, around 7 years old. Before that, you naturally inhabited the theta frequency, the genius state of creation and direct connection with the unseen. But the system, fearing your potential, forced your mind to plunge into beta mode, the survival frequency. Since then, the world has done everything to keep you in this state of constant alert. The Matrix wants you in stress, living under the pressure of the clock, of debt, and of fear of the future. A stressed mind is a mind that obeys, a mind that doesn't question and never manages to hear the voice of providence. Understand that praying in a state of anxiety is not an act of faith. It's just transmitting panic to the universe. When you cry out to me with your heart racing and your soul full of doubt, you're not tuning into the kingdom. You're just reinforcing your own enslavement to the world's noise. I want you in authority, not in desperation. You must understand that your mind functions like Moses' staff mentioned in the ancient scriptures. In the world's hands, that staff is just dry wood, a common object used for support. But in my frequency, that same wood becomes the instrument that parts the sea. The secret to your next mission isn't in trying harder, but in changing stations. It's necessary to delete the scarcity programs and panic frequencies that were installed in your operating system over the decades. You weren't made to react to crises, but to govern over them. To initiate this process of deep cleansing and authorize the return to your original command state, I demand an act of will. Type 888 right now to delete the beta frequency from your system and notify the unseen that you're retaking control of your transmission station. By doing this, you're giving a direct order to your biology to stop accepting the Matrix's electromagnetic smog. The silence that will begin to settle in isn't emptiness. It's the necessary space for my voice to become clear again. The noise is disappearing because your signal is getting stronger. The authority you seek isn't something you conquer, it's something you remember. It's the return to the simplicity of power, where thought becomes decree, and decree manifests in matter. Stop breathing the heavy atmosphere of survival and start breathing the clarity of purpose. The shift has already begun. You're moving out of the masses that merely react to become the point of origin that commands. Keep your guard up and your ears alert, because the activation protocol is leveling up, and what comes next will require you to be in absolute alignment with the source. Observe the rhythm of your chest right now. What you call breathing, I call activation code. Most who walk upon the earth have forgotten the secret that keeps the soul connected to the throne. But you're about to recover the original breath. The ancient scripture reveals the mystery of your foundation, and the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Understand the magnitude of that moment. I didn't just give you air. When my lips touched your essence in the beginning, I performed a direct transfer of nature. The nephesh, the vital breath, was my own authority being breathed into your cells. You weren't made just to exist. You were made to be a living soul. The problem is that the Matrix has polluted your breath. Over the years, you began breathing the carbon dioxide of fear, the grey smoke of others, anxiety, and the toxic vapor of uncertainty. Your soul became suffocated under the weight of air that wasn't made for you. For your next mission, this pattern must be broken. You cannot govern if you're gasping. You cannot lead if your lungs are full of panic. It's time to expel the dense atmosphere of the world and return to breathing the purity of my presence. Feel this life invading your cells again. Breathe in my authority and breathe out all the smoke of the lies they told you about your incapacity. When I breathe into you, slavery falls away and clarity becomes your natural state. You are being restored now to your original command function. The living soul doesn't bow to circumstances. It alters them by the simple fact of being present and breathing the air of the kingdom. You are the carrier of the breath of creation. To receive this activation and seal the restoration of your soul, I command you to perform the act of ritualistic reception. Type 1010 right now in the comments to receive the breath of life and definitively expel all the Matrix's rot from your system. Feel your body illuminate under this new pressure. Life is returning to the areas that were dry, and the dust of the earth is being vivified by my essence. You're no longer just breathing. You've finally begun to live. The time to hide in the shadows of your own uncertainty has come to an absolute end. The veil that covered your identity has been torn from top to bottom, and what remains now is the naked truth of your sovereignty. You are no longer the one who asks the way. You have become the way itself, for those who still walk in darkness. There's an ancient concept, kept in the records of eternity, called apokaradokia. Imagine the entire earth, with all its mountains, rivers and nations, stretching its neck in agonizing expectation. Creation doesn't wait for an event or a date on the calendar. It groans and leans forward, waiting for your revelation. The world doesn't need you to keep trying to be acceptable or to keep your voice low so as not to disturb those who sleep. The system groans for the manifestation of the children of light, for those who decided to stop negotiating with mediocrity. Your deployment on the battlefield of physical reality begins at this exact second. I declare that the incubation period has ended, and the isolation that seemed like punishment has revealed itself to be your greatest war training. You were forged in silence so you could withstand the thunder of victory. Nothing you've lived through up to now was in vain. Every scar is now a medal of authority on your spirit. Beware, however, of the whisper of retreat that tries to invade the chosen one's mind at the threshold of conquest. Egypt will always seem comfortable when the desert presents its most arid face. But remember, the desert is just a necessary transition, while Egypt is a sentence of eternal slavery. Don't accept immediate relief in exchange for your permanent inheritance. The pressure you feel isn't meant to crush you, but to propel you out of the ordinary atmosphere. The invitation to return to what is known is the final test of your fidelity to the destiny I wrote with my own blood. From this moment on, I establish a decree of acceleration over your life. What used to take years to manifest will now happen at the speed of aligned thought. The doors that were sealed for generations in your lineage will be broken down by the frequency of your presence, for you carry the key of vital authority. I determine that, in the next 40 days, the invisible will begin to take solid form before your eyes. Situations that seemed unsolvable will find their collapse point, and new opportunities will arise from nothing, like manna falling on dry ground. This is the time of materialization of what was promised in secret. Your mission requires you to walk with your spine erect and your gaze fixed on the horizon of glory. There's no more room for doubt or the imposter's hesitation. The imposter died in the dollhouse. Who stands before me now is the legitimate heir to all the power that was breathed into your nostrils. This is your sealing ceremony, the point of no return where the contract with slavery is burned and the decree of sovereignty is signed. You are being commissioned as a pioneer, one who opens rifts in the matrix so others can pass through. Your life has become a zone of direct kingdom impact. Feel now the weight of this commission descending upon your shoulders. It's not the weight of burden, but the weight of glory, a density that prevents you from being carried away by the winds of others' opinions. You are anchored in the rock, and your stability will be the terror of your enemies and the safe harbor of your allies. The world will see what happens when a chosen one decides to accept the totality of their power without apologizing. The light emanating from you now is unbearable to the darkness that dominated your lineage. The cycle of losses has been closed, and the cycle of deployment has been officially opened by my word. Now, I summon your last and most powerful confirmation action. Place your right hand over your heart, feel the pulse of the life I restored in you, and assume the posture of one who has already won the war. Don't just feel like a human, feel like a sovereign who has just received the keys to their city. With the authority of one who accepts the call and recognizes the magnitude of the journey that begins now, write with firm letters in the comments, "Mission accepted." It's not just text on a screen. It's a record in the celestial courts that you have assumed your post of guard and command. Seal this commitment with an amen that echoes through the depths of your being, definitively closing the cycle of the past and opening the portal to your glorious future. What I declare today over your life, no one has the power to reverse tomorrow. The time to hide is over. Your revelation has begun. Go and govern over the earth, for the breath of Genesis is in you, and my vision is now your only reality. The destiny has been sealed. The mission has been delivered. The chosen one is ready. And to continue expanding your mind, subscribe to the channel and click on the video that appears now on your screen.